We here at the Game and Saloon Riff Tracks always support any and all that are involved in the creation and distribution of any show we feature, and will encourage any of those watching to support the official release. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Zone Rift Tracks for November 23rd, 2013. With your host, Pacemaker2448.
And Rampant Epsilon.
And we're also broadcasting this on the anniversary of Doctor Who. Well, the 50th anniversary. I've had a lot of Doctor Who today. Just my Twitter's been all up about the Doctor Who. Granted, I watched the 50th.
Now our site starts working.
Of course.
It be broke until we go live, and then it starts wanting to work again.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe. Might have spoke too soon. Giga.
Yeah, still broke.
Yeah. It's trying. I managed to get the game background and part of the admin bar up there, but the rest of it's still dead. So I got farther than I have. At least it's trying to load.
Yeah.
Stupid broken server.
And I'm also without my usual dual monitor setup for the show because my HDMI port just wants to go today.
I think everything that could break has.
Except us. We haven't broke yet.
No, not yet. We might word vomit by the end of the show, but...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or as that Uchi puts out, I make weird noises that somehow turn into words. I am seriously not trying to make words when I make those noises. That's just me making noises.
That apparently turn into words.
Or that are interpreted as words.
I meant to ask, you did tweet today, right?
Yes, I tweeted before we started.
Well, I know the last time.
Yeah, I know.
Last time it did not turn out like you wanted, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that said, last week we wrapped up the Christmas special and the first half of Beast's intro arc. But this week we are taking a break and we're going to be looking at Kyoryuger's first 2 episodes. But first, let's talk about what we watched this week, and it's going to be Gaim because
it's about the only thing we've been watching that's been in common.
Yeah. Unless you somehow magically turned on BBC America and watched the 50th anniversary special.
I've kind of got this rule that I kind of don't try to just hop in the middle of a series kind of deal.
Yeah, don't feel bad.
If all the shows are just like one-offs and the whole plot of the show is took care of in that one show, then yeah, fine, I'll turn it on. But yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Who's been a continuous story for 50 years.
Yes, see, I wouldn't hop in on the middle of something like that.
Problem is, a lot of the first, the first and second Doctor stuff is lost. So, kind of have a catch-22 there.
Yeah, but still, that's just kind of my deal there. I don't do that.
Yeah. Although I would say
it saves confusion.
Although I will say, you can hop in on the Ninth Doctor's run, Christopher Eccleston, and you'll pretty much be caught up on everything, Doctor Who-wise. I know that's weird saying, oh, you can hop in on the Ninth Doctor and know anything you need to know. Just go forward from there. But, yeah.
Huh.
That it made sense to me because I watched the entire all of Eccleston's run, which was one season, and it's like, oh, now I get Doctor Who a bit. So I'm like, oh, okay, these are the Daleks, these are the Cybermen, this is Doctor, this is the Doctor, there's the aliens, and okay, now I'm introduced to a lot of stuff. It's worked out that way. And of course, he's not in the 50th anniversary special, so I'm like, oh, except for like 3 seconds, and a not copied footage cameo because they use copied footage from every other Doctor for a certain scene. I won't get into the special itself, but he's
Yeah,
the only one with it.
yeah, I kind of agree with the whole you shouldn't get too far into it because you never know who we got watching.
Yeah, yeah. I saw someone who's associated with Ranger Crew was really pumped about it, and he wanted to immediately discuss it on Twitter. And was like, "No, can't do that because it's repeating tonight because it aired this like midday today, and they did a rerun of it just a couple hours ago." Just because, and then they're gonna replay it Monday because it's the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. This is like BBC's writer in Sentai, pretty much. If we got a special, we gonna replay the shit out of it.
Well, I can't blame them.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I only watched like one season of Doctor Who, so.
God, the site is going so chugga right now.
Yeah.
We have been sitting here talking this whole time.
Yeah.
It's just now trying to load the homepage.
Well,
site done went and got brokey.
With my bit on the 50th anniversary out of the way, let's talk episode 6 of Gaim. And by episode 6 of Gaim, I mean let's talk Bravo, because
that's really what the episode was about.
Yep. It's hard for me to put into how best to describe Bravo. Because I can't say he's gay. Because he hasn't shown, like, interest in anyone of the same sex. But he shows some of those stereotypical qualities.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you would find in media.
The way he portrays himself looks that way.
Right. I'd say he's more flamboyant than full-on gay, but he is flamboyant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a dude, I am pretty sure that dude works out on a daily basis. I am almost 100% positive that dude works out on a daily basis, because I'm sorry, when you got arms that look like anyone who's in WWE, you work out. Dude looked like he could choke a fool.
Probably could.
Yeah.
Probably could with 2 fingers.
Especially since we also see that he's got a military background.
Yeah.
Which, I've been thinking about the episode the whole week, and I thought of something kind of interesting. We see on there that he's not just a military vet, but he's decorated.
Yeah.
You know, he's got quite a few medals. And also, you see a trophy stand, I'm assuming for pastries, and he's got a ton of medals and a ton of trophies there, too. So he's a decorated pastry chef, and he's a decorated military vet. And now he's hopping into the Rider War.
But if you notice in that same scene there, the only reason that he's hopping into it is because he's tired of seeing these kids getting out there and play fighting with this stuff.
Right.
He's like, okay, you got these massive destructive weapons, and you're out there playing some little stupid game.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exactly how he's looking at it. So, yeah.
I have to also think it's fueled a little bit by his competitive side, because I'm thinking it's like, oh, he wants to be number 1. He wants to be like number 1 armored rider. It's like he doesn't care that no, there's this invest game. No, he wants to prove that he is top dog. He doesn't care about the beat writer teams. He doesn't care about the invest games. No, he just wants to be the best armored rider. I would think that
Yeah,
played in.
that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think he might be shooting for is you look, what was he what were you seeing in that little bit there where he was talking about the pastries? You win them over by how they look to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take them by how they taste, which, I mean, granted, the last part of it doesn't directly move into that. But, like you
Yeah.
said, he is decorated.
Mm-hmm.
He's well known for everything he's done. That's what he's wanting to have out there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know I'm this good. Now I'm going to make you realize I'm this good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He wants to be number one. And considering off the episode descriptions I've seen for episode 7, um, just to talk about the episode description that's out there, I wouldn't consider that spoilers because the part I'm talking about, I'm sure happens within the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Oh, probably.
Bravo, when he beats Gridden and Kurakage, he takes their lock seats.
So they lose 2 sets of lock seeds within 2 episodes.
Not only Gridden lost his,
No, they both lost theirs in the first fight.
they did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Never mind. Yeah, they did. I was thinking about a Gridden's invest game with uh, Michi, where he lost the strawberry
Oh,
lock seed
yeah.
there.
Yeah. But no, and right after they got their belts, at the very beginning of the episode, they got beat and lost their lock seeds then.
Yeah, but Bravo takes theirs, and I'm thinking he's not got any real use for these other 2 lock seeds, except maybe use them. But since we haven't seen anybody use them so far, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't
So
either.
maybe he's gonna take them as trophies.
That could honestly be what it is.
Yeah.
It could be he wants trophies of it, of his accomplishments, so by beating them and taking the lock seeds, he would have a trophy of each person he's beat.
Mm-hmm.
Which could possibly play into duplicates of both the orange and banana lock seeds.
Well, we know there's duplicates of those that exist already. Um, the DJ had a pair. DJ had one of each at the beginning of episode 1.
Yeah. Unless those could just be like mock displays.
I
They
doubt.
might not actually be lock seeds.
I doubt that, but it's always a possibility.
Well, I mean, how else would he have wound up with them
Sid.
without purchasing them himself? And what would be the point of purchasing the lock seeds if you're not even involved in the games?
True.
That's why I think those might just be like mocks of them.
But I have to think with how the lock seeds are that duplicates exist. This isn't like the Gaia memories where it's more likely there's only just one of each because why would you have a duplicate Cyclone or a duplicate Joker or a duplicate like Sweets? Why would you have duplicates of these Gaia memories?
Well, we know there's got to be duplicate of the lock seeds. The first strawberry lock seed got destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So, I mean, we know there's got to be duplicates.
Yeah.
Even excluding the fact that the announcer might have functioning lock seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was just saying I don't know necessarily if I would say the ones he's got are functional ones.
True.
Because really, what's the point of him having
Yeah.
them?
Uh,
But yeah, there definitely is duplicates. We know that for sure.
yeah. Let's see. Uh, Bravo looked pretty good, even though he was about the colors. I'm not gonna lie. Those colors
Yeah,
make me like but
yeah, I'm with you on that one.
otherwise he looks fine, especially for the Roman warrior aspect they're going with, which works because he loves to be showy, and that's what Roman gladiators were.
Oh yeah.
They weren't so much about killing as they were being putting on a show. Because if you kill, you're gonna run out of people to fight,
Well, and okay,
and things to fight to.
would you go up against someone that can kill people?
Uh,
But
and the Coliseum, you don't have a choice in the matter, but
I mean, if you were told that you either had to fight till you died or kill yourself, which would you rather do?
I don't know. Both of those options sound terrible.
But I mean, if you sit back and think about it,
Yeah.
I have a feeling there is no more belts to give out. If there was more belts, I
So
would,
far.
yeah, as it currently stands.
We know four more exist, but we're not getting those till next year.
Four, I thought it was five, technically.
Blood Kindness belt's the same type of belt. Well, it's in an alternate world, so it doesn't count for Sid's numbers.
True. But yeah, I so could see down the line the possibility of Bravo just walking up to someone wanting to fight them, and they'd be like, "Here, just take the Lockseed."
That's pretty much what happened when how he got the belt and Loxley to begin with. It's like, give it. It's like, give me it. He's like, okay, here. Don't break my arm.
uh, I definitely, you were saying we saw in the spoiler stuff about Michi being the one to bring them all together.
Yeah.
I completely could see that with Bravo. I could see that being the reason they all work together.
Yeah. But the thing is, when Michi's bringing them together, it's not against Bravo. It's all the riders together against a horde of Inves.
Which we know is going to happen to a point because of the opening.
Yeah.
Because you kind of see Gaiman Baron fighting hordes of Invis.
Yeah.
I
Well, technically, it's a horde of actually statues, but
thought they were moving.
in the opening.
Yeah.
You mean that one part where like Zangetsu's pointing his sword at the camera, then it cuts to Gaiman Baron fighting?
Yeah.
That's the set. That's the set of armors that are behind him in that previous shot. It is.
Huh.
Yeah, it's the same armor that's behind Zangetsu in that previous shot. It's kind of that armor that's associated with him throughout the opening. Just like how Guy, Baron, and Ryugen all have sets of armor that are associated with them. Like old-looking armor.
Hmm.
And yes, there's four. The camera comes up in front of one of them. Plus, Guy doesn't have one in any of the shots. Until the end when he does have one very clearly for him. It's not any of the previous three, I believe. Yes, I pay way too much to the opening, but we got a new opening this week a bit. It's only a slight change. It's kind of taking out certain parts of the scenes and replacing them with new ones. Um, one of them was the quick like ghost shots of 4 riders. It's Guy in Pine Arms, uh, Kurokage, Britain, and somebody else because Bravo's not in there. I know it's not Gaim. I'd have to look. And I clicked the wrong one. I clicked the right one.
Damn it. Skip too far back on that. I was trying to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ryugen that's in there.
Yeah.
And then in the belt cut shots, it's, again, Grid and Kurokage and Gaim. Going forward from there, the only other scenes that were changed were those quick shots of the armor on the ground. It's Pine, Ichigo Arms, Grid, and Kurokage. So, no Bravo, but that was kind of standard.
Yeah, because they don't want to spoil it.
Plus, Sengetsu's not really been in those shots except for the one. Except for except for 2 shots previously. His armor's never been in the last couple shots. Which seems odd, but because they had Pine Arms in there before they even debuted Pine Arms. Like those off the rider armor shots. Pine Arms was the one of the 4 for some reason.
Maybe that was just so that they didn't have to make yet another opening. Maybe they figured it was early enough in the show when that came in that it could justify it.
Yeah. It just seemed weird that that one's in there, but Zangetsu's armor is not in that shot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aside from Bravo, we had Grid and Kurokage. I love these guys. Just as like the duo henchmen that are going to lose.
No matter what they do.
Yes. They job out to everyone.
Well, and you know what was funny? And you kind of mentioned this too when we talked about it before. Apparently the fruit-based riders are more powerful than the nut-based ones. Because did you notice right at the beginning of the episode, it took both of their specials to knock Baron out?
I believe, and if you're wondering where I said that from, that was straight from the creator's mouth. That's what they said. And some interview back
clear
for the show.
There.
Yeah. That was back before the show debuted. In an interview, they were talking about the fruit and nut lock seeds. How the nut ones are weaker than the fruit ones. And you could clearly see that in the Invest games.
Oh, yeah.
Because all the nut ones summon all the short Invest, while a fruit one can summon a full-size Invest. And with a belt, they can fully summon them instead of them being all digitized, old-school gaming arcadey looking.
Yeah.
But I like them too, as jobbers. And I like that how Gridden just kind of sucks at fighting. Well, Kurokage is like, oh, I know how to fight. Because he can handle himself against Gaim. Gridden was screwed against Ryugen.
Oh, yeah.
Also, this may just be me, but I swear every time Gridden like hits his hammer with his hand, I swear it sounds like one of those squeaky hammers. It's just that little noise. I'm just like, it's a squeaky hammer. I know it's a squeaky hammer. Damn it, I love this character more. Because he has a squeaky hammer. Now, I just want to talk about this real quick because I saw it on both HJU and Token Nations forums being discussed. Is who's getting off first, and it's between those three. I don't know why people are talking about who these three is getting off first, but okay. Because I feel
Probably
like
because they figure that we're gonna end up having too many riders, so someone's gonna get weeded down.
true, but I just like this. It's a bit early to be talking about that because A, we've just met all three of these characters over the past two episodes, and B, all these guys have been featured in media.
Yeah.
Granted, Bravo doesn't have a lock seed yet, or
It,
a plate yet, or an arms chase figure yet, but we know those are coming.
if I had to guess, maybe not necessarily oft, but I would venture to say Bravo's probably going to be the first one to kind of step back.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be in there to kind of beat them all down and kind of make them realize that they don't know what they're doing with this stuff, and then
yeah.
he's going to kind of step back.
If anything, I see his belt being destroyed and him maybe getting another one down the line. But in terms of being fully killed off, no. While Grand Kurakage may not have had a complete focus episode to them, they have been sprinkled throughout the last 3 to 4 episodes. Is how we've been introduced to them. Bravo just got an entire episode dedicated to him because, well, look at his performance. This man needs an episode dedicated to him because we need all that. Because dude flamboyant.
Oh yeah.
Also, he made codes that just absolutely snap. Just looking at it, like, this guy is famous. I'm done. I'm done. That feral hiss, I'm just like, yes. Let's see. That was the major things, really. Um, Although there was something kind of weird in the first part of the episode that I'm kind of curious if it's going to lead to anywhere is what Grid and Kurakage were going to do to the Baron. They were just going to destroy his belt. Yet,
Yeah.
Guy came in for the save.
Well, did you catch later down where Red Hawk came in and said, "Hey, we're quitting the alliance"?
Yeah.
That little conversation that Kaito had there.
Yeah.
He's not really looking at Gaim anymore as an enemy, but he's not willing to accept him as an ally either.
Yeah.
It's one of those, he stepped in and helped me out, so I'm not going to focus on them right now.
Yeah.
They can just go ahead and keep doing what they're doing, and I kind of hope that they're still there when I'm ready.
Yeah, he seems to be really paying hard attention to them for the last while because he even made note about them in last week's episode when he was talking to Gridden. Because he specifically pointed out Team Gaim
Yeah.
when he was doing this whole little card trick thing. So he's really interested in Gaim, and it may just be because they're probably the strongest team out there that didn't join up with him at all.
Well, if you remember, though, they were almost out of it altogether.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, they're right next to Baron in the rankings.
Yeah. That sudden boost is what's got his attention.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they're as powerful, it's just a case of he realizes they just turned the whole table there.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch.
I think out of Gaim, I know Michi listed off. Yeah, it was last week that Michi listed off a bunch of teams that joined up with Baron. I think it was like half the beat writers we know of joined up with them.
Yeah.
The other half stayed out, which was Gaim and a lot of other miscellaneous teams that never really
Probably.
named because they're not worth mentioning.
Yeah. All them other teams that probably will never be heard of again.
Yeah, I mean, we heard of one of the Baron teams this week, Red Hot. Pop Up. I know we need to be taking interest in, but that's because of rumors, the rumors about what's happening in the next few episodes. I don't know. Do you remember that? The rumors of the episodes we were getting up until Christmas break?
Vaguely.
Pop Up is the team where a member pulls out a different driver.
Oh.
Which is the Genesis driver, because we don't know of any other belt. And we have toy catalogs for this, so we know this is coming next year.
And we also know that there definitely is no more Sengoku drivers.
Yeah. That's the reason I'm like, oh yeah, Pop Up joined Baron. Well, since everyone else is of note, I'm guessing Pop Up's worth noting too, because, well, of later future events. So they're probably mentioning them now. So it's like when Team Pop Up comes around, they're like, oh yeah, the team that joined Baron's alliance.
My question is, are they going to get the big head and try to backstab Baron or not? And are we going to wind up with a puppet team for a while?
I'd have to think, and it's because of an image that came out recently. It's the 4 Genesis driver riders that we know of are standing side by side. And if we take the rumor, essentially, that one of the team members of Pop-Up is wielding a Genesis driver, we don't know which one, but one of them, and we also know, it's also rumored that 2 of them are a twin brother and sister. So take that for what you will. But we take that all together, I have to think that Pop-Up may not be working for Baron. They may be like an inside team into the beat writers. It's like they're a team that's there just to keep an eye on things, possibly. Because why would a random beat writer team get a Genesis driver when we know Zangetsu has a Genesis driver too, who we know works for the city?
True.
So how does Pop-Up get it? Because I'm pretty sure Sid doesn't have Genesis drivers. I'm sure this is something like hand-picked people straight from Zangetsu, I would think, if he's leading the charge.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because you look, really, he don't want them in that forest.
Right.
So why would he take the chance of giving someone something just as powerful as him?
Well, technically Sid's with Zangetsu's permission, pretty much. It looks and seems like has been giving out Sengoku drivers, which puts some people on par with him. Granted, he's probably used the driver longer than anybody.
Yeah.
I think he was more miffed that Sid gave
the bike locks out.
Yeah, he gave the bikes out because that gave them access to the forest.
On
Otherwise,
their
he
own
didn't
will.
care.
Yeah.
Maybe the Genesis driver is like the answer to the question they have. Or maybe them trying to solve the question of the forest. It's like, well, we need more power. We'll use these. Or like, and someone else proposed this, that the Genesis driver riders are going to be going up against the Sengoku driver riders.
But would that even be fair?
It's not the point if it's fair. And maybe that everyone who's got the Sengoku driver rebels against the city once they find out where they came from, and Zangetsu's just like, oh, I'm gonna trade up to the Genesis driver. He gets 3 guys in, and they all go and try to take down the rest of them. And be like, well, we gave you this power, now we're gonna take it away because we're done. What's out of you kids playing around with our tech?
I don't think that will happen.
Yeah.
Simply because the whole Invis game, which has dealt with all these lock seeds, has been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Uh, and as far as everyone that has a belt, the only thing they know is that Sid had them.
Yeah.
They don't know or care where they came from before Sid got them. No one has questioned that.
Yeah.
None of them went to Sid and been like, hey, how did you get these?
I'm just starting to think is like, well, what's going to happen when somebody finally decides to go off script and starts questioning things and starts really trying to dig and says like, where the hell did these belts come from? And what if that's a united effort from almost everyone? Then I think that'll happen. Otherwise, I don't think there's no real point to it happening.
That could possibly lead into it.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see where Michi's going to be the basis for any kind of massive turn.
Yeah, because Michi is just as smart and just as cunning as Zangetsu is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And
he
he's
was...
done figured out that his brother's got some stuff that he didn't realize he had.
He's got the driver, and he's got lock seeds too. And he even takes one. He takes the watermelon lock seed, which leads to the fight we get this week.
Yeah. Which, just from the clip we got at the end of episode 6, dang, that's gonna be funny.
Oh, trust me, it's hilarious, especially once he does especially when he cuts open the lock seed and actually tries to put the armor on. Oh. Here's the problem. Just like Ichigo, there's no bottom on there, and yeah. It was hilarious because the clip's up on J Fusion right now. Yeah, another interesting note, and this is again from the opening, is Michi's reaction to Gaim with the save, because he immediately goes, "You know, it is a smart idea to destroy their belts."
Yeah.
Like he's just like, "Yeah, that is a smart idea." And I have to wonder, well, will this be a divide between the two, or will Michi be going, maybe this is a way we can like narrow down people, or maybe take them out without truly killing them. Granted, I don't think they know what's going to happen if someone tries to destroy a lock seed. Or not destroy a lock seed, destroy a belt.
I think what it more was he was like, you know what? They do have a point there. It would be smart to eliminate everyone.
Yeah.
But this is kind of fun. I think that was kind of the underlying meaning there. It was one of those, yeah, you know, they're right. But this is kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it because apparently I'm guessing nobody has put 2 and 2 together that Michi is one of the armored riders, because I'm guessing no one got footage of that, which I find extremely odd, but okay. Because
yeah, no.
off of last week, Kota says he only saw footage of Ryugen and he put 2 and 2 together. And he's like, he only saw the footage of Ryugen. So I'm guessing the only thing anyone cares about is the armored riders. They don't even care who's wearing the armor. Outside of, oh, they work for this team.
Which seems completely odd to me. And what gets me is his brother is not even the least bit questioning him.
Yeah, he's just so just not caring what he's doing. Because he's like, oh, I'm sure he's at school. Oh, I'm sure he's doing what he needs to do. But I trust him because he does what he needs to do and doesn't go off script.
Oh,
Except
okay.
he's gone so far off script, it's ridiculous now.
But what gets me is this stuff would have to be big news. Does he not pay attention at all? Because I'm sorry, you get someone in the middle of a city that puts on a belt, throws a lock seat in, and this big fruit from a zipper in the sky comes down.
Yeah.
Do you not think that's going to be on any kind of news?
Well, we know Beat Writer stuff covers it, but I'm guessing the Beat Writer stuff is like some type of underground thing that no one watches nor cares about.
I
Because
could understand that part of it, but I'm sorry.
yeah,
If you went into town, saw a big zipper in the sky, and a giant fruit fall down out of the sky, would you not kind of wonder what the fuck's going on?
yeah. Which that makes me think is like, what if the corporation is covering all this up? What if they're covering up the fact that it's like, oh, all this shit's happening?
That would have to be like the only way that he could not know about this is if they were covering it up. But even then, he's apparently some kind of high up in the company.
Yeah.
So that's just what's completely baffling me. How in the does he not even know about this? Is it just one of those? Oh well, that's Sid's work. I'm not gonna fool with looking.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes no sense. I would have figured by now he would have at least been like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" and just kind of acting like he might know something.
Yeah. That they might be trying to build up to that. They might hold that off for like a big reveal. It's just like then they come to know. It's like you're you. Why'd you try to kill Kota? Why are you an armored rider?
Why the hell did Sid give you a belt?
Well, why did you try to kill Kota? And where'd you get your belt?
I could see something like that just explode out of nowhere there.
Yeah, that's gonna be one that will happen. I am sure. I'm
That
almost
that will probably be one of those things like we get a few more episodes in and then they just kind of throw that out of nowhere in there.
yeah. I get yeah. That we're gonna probably gonna get that before the end of the year, more than likely. Before the big reveal of the Genesis drivers, it's gonna be those two find out who each other are. Which I'm surprised Michi didn't go. Wait a minute, what's this on the belt? Because the belt has the faceplates with the helmets of the riders.
But okay, the only thing that Michi knew about was it being a white rider
Which is on the
that
belt.
that beat the hell out of Kota. Who's to say there ain't more than one?
True, but it's like, wait, there's a white rider on here.
I'm sure he's putting two and two together. I'm positive on that one, but it's one of those that there could possibly be two white riders.
Yeah. I'm just
So
at least like Michi to acknowledge the fact that it's like on the faceplate there is a white rider right there, and he's like, a white rider? And maybe just like write it off. It's like, ah, nah, my brother wouldn't do that. I
would he?
think, but that adds to his like, wait, what's going on now? Because why does my brother have a driver? Like he begins to question it because he's like, it's like, oh, my brother wouldn't try to kill somebody. Wait, what does my brother do to begin with?
I still am not completely convinced that he was trying to kill him. Because if he
True.
was, he would have kept on even after he was out of suit.
True, but Michi's only got Code's word to go off of it right now.
Yeah.
And Code's firmly believes it's like, dude wanted to chop my head off.
Like I said though, I'd still say that if he wanted to kill him, he would have been done. That
Yeah.
would have been it. Because he was beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing else to note from this week. Because Sid was just in. Sid didn't do much besides give Team Red Hot the belt and the lock seed and go about his business.
yeah. I did notice something, though.
What?
He knows what's going on. Because
Yeah.
he was even like, all this chaos, and I ain't even handed the last one out yet.
Yeah.
He knows that last one's going to do something.
Yeah. I wonder what his reaction is going to be when he finds out. It's like, wait, this didn't get to the person I wanted to give it to.
That's going to be the thing.
That's probably what we're going to get this week when we find out what Sid's reaction to someone completely unrelated to the Beat Riders has got the belt in the driver, got the driver in the lock seat that he gave the Team Red Hot.
That's going to happen, and I'm wondering if we're not going to start getting a little closer to finding out what Sid's lock seed does.
I'm just so thinking. It's like, I swear we get another rider out of this. Because I have to think, I'm like, maybe he has his own, like, maybe he has like a Sengoku driver himself. And like his lock seat is kind of designed on purpose to kind of counter them.
Kind
Or
of do
like,
something to shut them all down.
yeah.
Had to.
Yeah. Because that kind of happened in A to Z with the eternal memory, because the main function of the eternal memory is to shut down all the memories before it. Well, all the non-T2 memories, because it shut them all down while it was
Right.
active, which took out Double in Excel for half the movie.
Yeah.
It resulted to Joker and Kamen Rider Joker, but we'll forgive that. Just realized today that Kamen Rider Joker is also in Traveler Senkai, and I'm like, damn you 3DS and your region locking. I want to play this game, damn it. I really want to play this game because I'm like, okay, Neo Heisei Riders, original story, not just the writers interacting with each other, but also their supporting cast. Because Akigo's in the game, Hana's in the game, or Hina's in the game, Unk's in the game, the entire Rider Club's in the game, I believe. Toyomi, yeah, pretty much all of Wizard's supporting cast is in there. Like, no one from Gaim's supporting cast is. It's only Kota, but still. You have the supporting cast from the previous 4 shows interacting with each other on top of the writers from those respective shows, plus Kota. I'm just like, I want this. I want this translated because I want to know the story. I don't care if it's kind of crappy, because I'm just like, I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, there's nothing else to note from this episode. That pretty much covered all the big stuff. And next week we get Watermelon Arms and Grid and Kirkake again getting the shit beat out of them, but they are the jobbers of the show, so I'll forgive them. What will worry me about the two is if they start losing to everybody and they
Yeah.
never win. Like, I'm fine if they like come up really close, they really push somebody, but whoever they're beating up pulls off the win. But if they just flat out lose to everybody and they never really come close to winning, it's going to be kind of pointless to me. Because I've seen that happen. It's called 3-man band. After a certain point, if you lose to everybody definitively, you start to lose that charm of being a jobber.
Yeah.
A jobber doesn't really win that often. They get a couple wins maybe here and there, but at the end of the day, they're meant to lose. But they're meant to lose in great fashions to really make the winners look good. And if 3-man band, they'll lose in like 2 minutes flat to anybody and everybody, including single people when it's 3-on-1. They've lost to Big Show and Ryback multiple times in 3-on-1 situations. Multiple times. They've lost to every single tag team multiple times. Hell, when Los Matadores first debuted, they lost 4 times in a row to them. 4!
Gee.
4 straight shows they lost to Los Matadores. That is a terrible way to introduce Los Matadores.
Huh.
They should have beat 3-Man Band and moved on. Yeah, it might not have been just 4 shows, because I'm sure there was a couple more in there, but yeah, they lost 4 shows in a row to Los Matadores, and it was like, ugh. Alright. I'll pretty much cover Gaim, so we can move on to what we're watching this week, since we're about an hour in.
Yeah.
Alright. We're watching the first 2 episodes of Kyoryuger, of Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger. And those are He's Here, the Red King, and Gabarichu Snapping Combination. Now, Kyoryuger is the superhero time partner, or time slot partner, to Wizard and Gaim right now. Because of how each show debuts, they're kind of offset like that, to where Rider and Sentai share 2 partners that will share 2 partners their entire run. Like Wizard was partnered with both Go Busters and Kyoryuger throughout its entire run, in terms of who came on before them. And now Gaim is being partnered up with Kyoryuger, and next year by Tokyo Uger, which is a train Sentai. No, I'm not kidding. It's train Sentai. I don't know how it's going to work, but okay. As far as I can remember, there's only been like 2 train mechs, and neither Sentai was based around trains to begin with. So I don't know.
So essentially, this is going to be very interesting.
Yes. Like, okay, there was one in Go-Go 5, or Lightspeed Rescue, but that was like a mid-season upgrade to what they already had. It was it was also a transport for their regular Zords. And then you have the one from Magi Ranger that was the Solaris Knights one, or Magic Gold, and it was because Magic Train. That was it. So I'm just like, okay, Train Sentai. I'm sure they'll try to work in like what Dino references, because with Dino, you know those 4 different sounds it has when he goes to those 4 different forms?
Yeah.
Those are based off 4 different train stations in Japan. I believe it's train stations. Yeah, it's train stations in Japan. That's what each one represents. So they might go some type of route like that. I don't know. All we know is the name right now, because it popped up in copyrights. I'm gonna find it really funny when we first get when we get those leaked designs for the new team, because I can almost guarantee they're not gonna be right. Like, Go-Kaiger's like the closest one I've ever seen, and it just extended down the you know how they've got that jacket looking part of their suit?
Yeah.
That was extended out to look more like a jacket. And Go Busters was nowhere close. I don't think we ever got Kyoryuger leaked designs that were supremely off. Go-Kaiger's was off. Was about the closest one. Go Busters was off. I don't think we got one for Kyoryuger. And I think I've seen Ghost Nature ones that looked really off, and I'm like, this doesn't even look like the Ghost Natures. Who gets these? So yeah, with that said, thoughts going into Kyoryuger's first 2 episodes.
I'm kind of open for it. We've had pretty decent off of Sentai.
Outside of Ghost Ager.
Yeah.
Ghost, honestly, Ghost Ager is I think the only not so good Sentai we've ever watched. Because Boko Kaiger and Go Busters were good. And Shinkanger was good. And we haven't watched anything else because I haven't brought anything else to the show.
Till now.
Yeah. Kyoryuger is pretty good. Um, I will say the first two episodes may not have you sold on it because there are things that are like about the first two episodes. Um, but once you get past like some of the initial stuff, like 20 some odd episodes into the show, it really takes off. And really recently, it's went just I don't even know where to begin with the show because it's been really good. Just really, really good lately. Like
So about halfway through the currently released episodes,
20
because you
episodes
said
maybe.
that's 20 some.
Yeah, 20. I wouldn't say it's good till it's good, but about 20 episodes in is really where it hits its stride. Because once it starts, when you start, yeah, actually, it's earlier than that. Like, once you start having Uchi in there, like, from that point onward, it really picks up.
Hmm.
And then it gets really good after there. Once you hit, like, Kyoryu Violet being introduced and the whole Plezo arc, when you have almost finale episodes, you've got episodes that feel like final episode material, and you're about halfway through the season, and it's still good.
Hmm.
Granted, Go Busters did the same thing, but at least they didn't leave off there and try to kind of be like, oh, well, we'll come back next week for stuff. No, it didn't leave off on, didn't pick up on filler. No, it went straight back into the main plot. And strangely enough, I saw this post where someone detailed out how many focus episodes every character has gotten. Everyone has had about 5 to 6 episodes dedicated to them on the team.
Huh.
To everyone. 5 to 6 episodes per character dedicated to them in terms of story and character.
Hmm.
And this is from a show that, up until Kyoryu Violet, has one female member. One
Huh.
out of a 5-man team. And there are 2 females on the team out of 10 now. And also, just to talk about next week's episode, because the preview's up, the main villain for the Kyoryuger movie, Gabaricho Music, which is a musical, a bit. Not really a musical, but there are musical pieces in there. But apparently, the villain is back in that episode, and based off one shot, all I'm gonna say is, if we don't have a 10-man roll call, because everyone is there lined up, I demand a 10 Ranger roll call next week because everyone is here for once.
Hmm.
We don't get that. I'm gonna be sorely upset at the show because I'm like, no. You're not gonna save that finale. You're gonna do it now. You can do a 10-member helmetless roll call at the end, but we need a 10-member roll call now. And for all I know, it's going to be 11 because the powers for Topaspin, the powers for Death Ryuger are going to get passed down to somebody else. And then we have 11 members. And then we get 11-member helmetless roll call, which I'm just going to be like, by the end. Granted, it's going to take like 5 minutes in the episode, but I don't care. But yeah, these 2 episodes are still good. I'm still surprised to this day. People just don't pick up on what the theme song is hinting at, or what the theme song is homaging. Because uh, the first notes, actually no, it's the beginning part of the song at the vocals is directly homaging the Jurassic Park theme song.
Hmm.
It's sped up, but if you listen to the Jurassic Park theme song with this with the Kyoryuger's theme song, it's just that it's the same exact notes. They're just sped up. You might pick up on it when we're actually listening to it if you've watched Jurassic Park.
I don't think I have.
Then you might not pick up on it, but I swear to this day, no one picked. I can understand now because the theme song's just there for us now since we're 38 episodes in. But even when the show was first coming out, I'm like, does no one notice the Jurassic Park reference in the song? No one? Just me? Really? I mean, this is a dinosaur Sentai, and they're directly referencing Jurassic Park with the theme song. Come on, it's right there, people. Right there for you, people. All right, should we get this underway?
We shall.
All right, taking a look at episode 1 of Kyoryuger, and 3, 2, 1, go. And yes, the villains get their own theme song.
Huh.
And yes, this becomes a plot point at point. This becomes engrossed in becomes a part of the show at times. And I don't remember who it is, but somebody from HJU was in that shot right there. That's
Huh.
in Europe. And of course, this is in America. Although I think something was misspelled right there in English. Also, say hello to Daigo, our Red Ranger for this season. And yes, he is that badass where he's just taking on these minions, all because they stepping on his island. Also, I have no clue why they call him King. They never answer that. Although I don't think anyone cares. You love how some, you know, two-legged bird creature just hands you a gun and he's just like, okay, I'll go shoot him. Now here's the thing about Kyoryugers. They have to do something special in order to become a Kyoryuger. And I'll let Torn explain it. Because it's a bit ridiculous.
Hmm.
Just bear that in mind. This is a qualification that everyone has to do. Yes, he's taking a liking to you, so he blew his nose at you. and we meet the rest of the team in suit for now. But first, the intro. But yeah, as you'll hear in this opening part, this build up and this next vocal part, that's directly referencing Jurassic Park because that's the first few notes of the Jurassic Park theme.
Hmm.
And this show is I don't know if it's directed by Sakamoto or whether he's the action director on there, but yeah, he's also on the show. So if you see some Sakamoto style action, that's because he's on the show. I really like this theme song. The ending song, not so much, but the theme song, love this. Uh, and the
So
announcer just,
that
yes, in order to become a Kyoryuger, you have to beat your mech. So in order for Daigo to become a Kyoryuger, he has to beat Gabutira with nothing but the gun.
well, that ain't gonna work.
No, no, no. They got him, I think. And Brave's just kind of their word they love to throw around this season. But yeah, doesn't that just sound ridiculous?
Yeah.
It's like, you want to become Kyoryuger? Beat the mech that's like 5 times your size. And yes, all the villains are based around emotions. No, son. And yes, the battery's mass shift.
Yeah, I see that.
I love how Daigo's just like, I want in on this fight. Now I'm just gonna point this out. None of them realize that that the other ones are Kyoryugers. And Daigo just discovered the base by complete accident. By the way, that's a plot point.
Huh.
It is seriously the fact that his necklace is a plot point. It doesn't get followed up on until late into the show, but it doesn't have a reason to show up until late in the show, really. And the minions can combine together to form.
A giant minion.
Yep. I love that part though. It's just like all the minions form together to make a giant minion. And also, some of these shots are with an actual suit with Coveteer, with actual suit with somebody in it, which is also kind of cool. Because it would be so easy to just make Coveteer completely CGI.
Far too brave or stupid, one of the two.
Um, he's a bit hard headed. Trust me. But that's Daigo. Yes, Daigo just doesn't care. It's like, I don't care that much Kyoryuger yet, and I'll just go beat the shit out of him anyway.
He's not insane. He's super sane.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
that was easy enough.
Yeah. Daigo goes to the school of I understand people. Or in this case, I understand giant mechanical dinosaurs. Now for the henshin, that will be a bit weird for since you're seeing it for the first time.
Oh God.
Yes, they dance to transform.
Oh God.
And the thing is, he doesn't know the dance. He just learned the dance when he was going to transform. That's actually a plot point.
Huh.
Yeah, because dancing is just as much a part of the show as dinosaurs. Don't think we're gonna get to see the Gabri cannon these first couple episodes, which is I'm sorry, that cannon just looks awesome. It's a combination of the sword and the gun.
Ah.
It gives them pretty much a shotgun.
Huh.
I loved how floaty Daigo looked when he was running down there.
Yeah, I know.
He says that with no one behind him until now. I love No Sun. Oh my god. And now we get the roll call.
You know, you got a lot of enemies that sit there and wait for the roll call and all that before they come and attack.
Yep. It's just a trope at this point. It's just a trope of Tokusatsu. I just accept it at that point. I'm just like, yep, the roll call's here. I just accept the fact that they wait. Hell, the show even makes fun of it at points. Yes, the gun also sprouts random Spanish. Oh, we do get to see the cannon! I love that thing.
Shotgun to the face.
Yeah. And even the toy version, that is a hefty cannon. I just wish they used it more. And also, they have cut that grabbing the battery out of the belt a lot. I don't remember when, but after a certain point, they just cut all that in those little quick scenes out. They pull out a battery, they just pull out the battery. And Pink spouts random English.
Yeah.
It's a multicultural show.
And we get the big explosion backsplash.
Yep. Again, Daigo just doesn't care. Yeah, like I said, Daigo just don't care. It's like, oh, y'all want to keep your lives private. All right, that's fine. Yeah, my name's Daigo, and a commercial for the revolver. Just gotta get all the toys right now,
Oh yeah.
and a bit of a spoiler for the next episode. Don't know why overtime. I don't remember overtime leaving in this many commercials because I'm pretty sure this is overtime subs. And now for the outro song, which,
Yeah.
yes, the minions were dancing behind them. And right now, they're Toei's showing off clips from people who have sent in video footage of them dancing to the song at this point. I wonder when it's going to show the villains dancing because they have the villains are dancing here and here too. Yep, there it is. Yeah, they get everyone in on the dancing. I have to smile every time I hear the announcer because I'm like, I know you're in the show. The announcer is an actual character in the show, and it's the same person who does the voices for all the gun sounds
Huh.
and the Go Catcher Go Buster movie with the Kyoryuger uh, cameo. I didn't realize that they were still doing commercials for that when Kyoryuger started. So, thoughts?
Pretty good. I'm well aware of the fact of what you said about the first two episodes might not necessarily buy me, but I'm not gonna say they were meh either. That was pretty good starting in, anyhow.
Yeah, it's just like there's certain things about the first couple few episodes that just they're like, eh, but they kind of drop those points after a while. It's like the dancing you get used to, and I'm not gonna lie, I swear Kyoryugen takes like 3 minutes to form. It is ridiculous how long they form. They take they how in depth they go into Kyoryugen forming. Uh, but it was only kind of like minor things. But after a while, the show won me over. Granted, I don't listen to the outro song at all. I just kind of skip it. Outside of me of finding out if there's like some random cameo by either the Hurricanegers or cast members from Gaim in the outro, and that little pairing up of people sending in their clips of them dancing to the song. Because they had cast members from Gaim dancing to the song, and the Hurricanegers dancing to the song too, alongside people just having their kids or them themselves dancing to the song because I guess it's people love it. I still prefer Go Busters ending song, but I'm weird because I'm one of the few people who like Go Busters for the most part. Of course, I also like Go Catchers, but Go Catchers is just having fun with with all 35 Sentai teams at that point. Uh, ready to start episode 2?
I guess so.
All right, starting up episode 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. We get the superhero time intro this time. All right, did you notice the thing about Beast this time around?
Not exactly.
Okay, we'll probably have to wait for the episode. Nope. Again, like I said, none of them realize who each other are.
Huh.
Wow, that was the quickest change I've ever seen.
Hmm.
And that's the gimmick on how the monsters get born
Huh.
for the show. And then after a while, they just kind of throw that out. Everyone just makes a monster. Just whoever just makes a monster of the week. And this whole thing about the team not knowing each other only goes for about like the first 4 episodes because Black and
Really?
King get separate episodes themselves. Yeah,
Huh.
they don't let it last that long, but it's nice for them to do it like for the first 4 episodes. And then what they do for Gold, that was pretty good. Yeah, I'm thinking now they haven't really used the bikes for quite some time now. And yes, the bikes are their own dinosaurs. Actually, it's two dinosaurs that make up one bike.
Huh.
Yeah, they send out the beast battery, and one flips around and one stays like it is, and they both clamp onto the battery, and that's how the bike is made.
Uh-huh, then.
Yeah, they really commit to this whole battery powering the monsters thing. And yes, Daigo just carved that with his bare hands. Yeah, I was about to point out that he's not a father,
Huh.
but honestly, he could be. And I'd say they just about treat it as such. Oh, and nothing is ever said about his mother. I don't. Yeah, nothing is ever said about his mother. So I have no clue what happened to his mother.
Hmm. And there again, fear is what ends up fueling the enemy.
Actually, it's specifically yeah, it is despair. It's sorrow that fuels that monster. They're actually after different emotions, which really makes some episodes cool because it's like, okay, now their plan is to make people, be fearful. Now our episodes to make them uh, be angry about stuff. In another episode, let's make them happy, like the wrong way of being happy.
Hmm.
And they play around that for multiple different episodes, which is really cool. Also, these guys really get. Also, all the lieutenants get into the field a lot. Oh, the commanders. Why did I say that? Commanders. They get into the field a lot. Like, there's barely an episode where one of them doesn't get into a fight with the team.
Huh.
Hell, even the big boss has his fair share of out in the field action. Granted, he doesn't fight that much because I don't think that suit's really meant to fight anything. Well, Daigo has a good point. That you could be punctual and show up because trying to save the world and all. And that's how they get the personal weapons. I think it's even a while before they even combine all their personal weapons into a giant drill thing that Daigo throws.
Hmm.
And yes, Daigo just gets a giant chomping weapon. Wow. Yeah, and even the team is not immune to it.
I see this.
Now we never see the other four beat their partners in order to become Kyoryugers, except for I believe the director's cut of the first two episodes, which I've never seen.
Hmm.
I just love how he pokes everything up. This is like, oh, she could probably kick my ass. Okay. No son is just, he didn't screw around. Also, he loves to throw out the puns, and everyone just brushes them off. Uh, no, Nobu smashed it on your face.
Yeah.
And yes, they have their own holsters for the guns.
I see this.
I thought it was actually a neat little idea, even though they don't quite use it that often.
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, that's where they put the guns. Even though they lose that when they transform, and they kind of just pull the guns out of nowhere and put the guns into somewhere, but I don't know where.
Yeah. It would make sense if they had the guns on them somewhere, but
Yeah, this is this is one of those teams that just pulls their stuff out of that little pocket dimension that doesn't exist.
you know, if you saw Wizard in one scene where he wouldn't have his gun sword, and then in the next one he had it, that could be explained.
Yeah, he has a ring for this.
Yeah, but they don't have any way of getting stuff from that alternate dimension. It's just like they've got it one scene, they don't the next. They've got it the next scene, and you don't see it when it's not there, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
huh?
like even when they're pulling out these beast batteries in these scenes like this, it's like they use both hands to pull out the beast battery, and then the next shot they're holding the gun. Where did they put the gun? Oh, that no, but no, son, you have to go there.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Now in this season, the monsters are never truly defeated. At least not until they grow big. That'd be two new ones that go. Learn to count. That's what we're all saying.
Giant form.
Mm-hmm. All it needs is a little sprinkle of water.
So all the monsters are some of those wet and grows.
Yep. Also, when they summon their Zords, they have killer catches, killer arms. 'Cause they literally throw them across the world.
Yeah, I noticed that. And the Zords can jump pretty far too.
Yep. I'm pretty sure the show doesn't like just is like, oh, we're not gonna take this part seriously. They just all just throw them. Also, Torin loves to snap his fingers. That's like his like tick.
And I love the fact that they're not actually in the Zords; they're on top of them.
Yeah, until they combine.
So when the Zords are doing their whole flipping and carrying on, they're got suction feet.
Yeah. Not for the most elaborate sword combining sequence I have ever seen. This had to be made for the toys, because this is exactly how you combine them together in the toys. And yes, they do bite on. That's the whole gimmick. Now, technically, this is Kyoryugen Carnival. Or, was it Carnival? No, Samba. This is Kyoryugen Samba. There's also Kyoryugen Western, which is a combination of Parazagan and Zaktor with a Gabatira. Why is it called Western? Because one of them's a gun,
Hmm.
even though one of them's also a sword. And I don't even begin to know how this works when they're all doing different things.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they're all doing different things. I don't, just, I'm not gonna think about it. Even when they're all doing the same thing, it doesn't make sense. I love how the kid's like, I'm totally keeping the secret. Uh,
Yeah, that's kind of funny right there.
yeah. It takes a while for her to finally find out that Nobu's blue, but that's like 20 some odd episodes in. I don't think she even tells him that she knows. I mean, it's not till like I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago that she finally tells him. It's like, look, I know what you do. I have to admire the extra mile they did. It's just like we're going to make models of all the dinosaurs doing the dance too. We're only going to use it for the ending theme song.
Yeah.
Now they also went the extra mile, and even when Uchi got introduced, um, they even changed it up to where they do his too. So it's the 7 of them doing it with their partners doing it as well.
Oh God.
Even though it's kind of hard for Uchi's partner to do it because it's a pterodactyl. So he's kind of just floating there doing the moves.
God.
And a little hint as to what's to come with the wizard.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on Kyoryuger?
It's good. But of course, like we've said too, I mean,
It
we've
only goes
kind of
up from
only
here.
well, we've kind of only had one Sentai show that was meh.
Yeah,
It it wasn't that it was bad; it was just meh.
yeah. I think because I've watched past where we stopped with Coast Ager, and it was after a while because I wouldn't say it was terrible, but like I was so disinterested in the show after a point. And it didn't truly do anything wrong, but it never truly did anything right after a point.
It was just kind of meh.
Yeah. And somehow Megaforce managed to improve on it at points, but then again, it does a completely different story. Because, Angels won't work with Power Rangers
Yeah.
overseas. Like, at all. Granted, I've never seen Gosei Knight in a full episode, so I cannot speak to comparisons between him and Robo Knight, but I'm sure Gosei Knight is better because Robo Knight is too much RoboCop. It's ridiculous. Too much RoboCop. Yeah, just parts of this episode make me smile to myself because I'm just like, I know there are other things. Like every time I hear the announcer, I'm just like, I have to smile because it's the announcer. He's in the show after a point, and he is just. I can't help but just crack up laughing when he comes on because he's Kyoryu Violet. Just to spoil a bit, he's Kyoryu Violet. And you know how he like just puts so much into his lines, like he's literally screaming his lines.
Yeah.
Just imagine him as a Kyoryuger fighting monsters. Just imagine his roll call. He gets so into it, he literally breaks the fourth wall and knocks down the backdrop behind him. Like, you know how they all have the backdrops?
Yeah.
He gets so into his, he knocks his down.
Huh.
Just literally just goes and knocks it down while he's doing his. I'm just like, you're getting way too this. Stop it. Plus, he's an old man. So he literally like hurts his back in the middle of a fight and just froze up. He's like, I can't move. I hurt my back. Oh my. But yeah, Kyoryuger is just that. If you enjoy these two episodes, it only goes up from here. Like I can probably honestly say, there's never been a truly bad episode of Kyoryuger. They have all been good to great, maybe a couple decent ones, but it's never truly had a bad episode.
Right.
It may go a bit too fast on some plot lines, but we get that with Gaim right now, and it's still enjoyable. I mean, I have yet to find. I may have found like one or two people who just don't like Gaim, who just don't like it for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, I think somebody linked a review of where someone just tore apart episode 2. I didn't give it a full read, but I know he tore apart the episode. So I know there are people who just don't like Gaim, but they are rare. And I think that's the same with Kyoryuger, because I don't think I've really heard bad about Kyoryuger. The only kind of bad thing I've heard is that the movie, even though it's kind of billed as a musical, is not really a musical. But I honestly don't have a problem with that, because I'd have to wonder how that works. And since they're just kind of doing a couple musical pieces, I'm just like, ah, that's fine. Yeah, it's cool to go back to these first two episodes and see how it started. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not really.
All right, then we shall close out there. For next week, we pick up where we left off on Wizard and continue on our journey with the second half of the Beast arc. And give me a second, I have to pull up the Wizard episode list to find out what is the start of after that. So what's the arc after that?
Because it's kind of been a while since you last watched it.
Yeah. It is. Okay, maybe we're watching a full arc next week.
Really?
Yes. Maybe. Wow, I forgot about that part. Yeah, next week is actually a full arc. Last week's episode was a one-off.
Oh, it
Like,
was? It was that
yes.
quick?
Yes. We're moving into I would say last week's was 2 one-shot episodes, and next week starts a full arc for Beast.
Oh, so it was a pre-arc kind of
Yeah.
one-off.
Yeah, it was just a one-and-done intro to Beast, and next week he gets a full arc.
Okay.
I forgot about that. Because
Wow.
I read that first line, and I'm like, wait. Oh, yeah, that episode ended there. I forgot about that.
Well then, wow.
Yeah.
That put us back on track a lot quicker than you thought.
Yeah.
Because you were thinking we were going to have at least an episode or two before we got back on track.
You,
At least an episode, I know.
yeah, and then the week after that, it's just going to be, we're going to see 2 episodes that are a part of a bigger arc. Because that starts the big, actually it's a 4-episode arc for Phoenix. Well, centered around Phoenix.
Hmm.
That's, that kind of leads into that little hint with Wizard. So that's where the thing on Wizard's wrist comes into. I'm not saying it because I'm not sure if people want me to say what the name is.
I'd wait. We're going to hit it.
Alright.
There ain't no sense selling it short.
Yeah. But until then, that'll do it this week for
Rampant Epsilon.
I'm Pacebreaker2448 saying night, everybody. We'll see you on the next round of the Game is Saloon Rift Tracks. Peace out.
As always, you can find the Game and Saloon Rift Tracks on our site at tgsr.dynDNS.org. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, on Twitter by following at TGS Rift Tracks, on Facebook at facebook.com/TGSRiftTracks, on Google Plus at g+.2/TGSRiftTracks, and on YouTube at youtube.com/user/TGSRiftTracks. Also, don't forget about the mobile app. It will be updated after every TGSR with archives for both TGS and TGSR. Till next time.